Good afternoon. I believe I am streaming live now into LinkedIn, I believe. LinkedIn, Facebook, and I think YouTube as well. So my first ever LinkedIn live, first time, let's hope it's working, but the first time that I've ever. Or maybe not, because now it's saying that it's not posting. Oh well, let's see if it works or it doesn't work. I don't know if this is going to work, but this is meant to be my first ever live into LinkedIn, and it seems to be coming up saying that we're having trouble posting on LinkedIn. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Hopefully, it's going out somewhere live. Let's see how it goes. And I'm sharing my 5 mindset tips for business success. Now, these are my 5 go-to things that I use in my business, but in my life, actually. These have become my habits on a daily basis. So I call them my magic. It's the magic. So if you don't know me, my name is Caroline Sanderson, and I am also known as the Salon Jedi. So I'm a business owner who coaches. I own a salon, but I also coach salon owners. And I'm also the author of this book, Mindset, Magic, and Miracles. And the magic part of it is what I'm going to chat about today, my 5 mindset tips that fall into the magic. So, there is somebody watching, so I must be live somewhere. I must be live somewhere. But anyway, my 5 magic mindset tips. So I'm going to start with M. So the M in the magic is for meditation. Now, you might think, well, how does meditation help me grow my business? But this has been absolutely fundamental for me in growing my business. It helped me take my salon business nearly went bankrupt about 12, 13 years ago. And it was really mastering my mindset and all my emotions and my internal world that helped me turn that business around and bring it to one of the top salons in the UK today. And meditation was a huge part of that, because think of meditation like a reset. It's like a recharge. So, and it helps me have clarity in my business, and it helps me connect to my intuition. So it helps me find the solutions to all the massive problems that show up in our business and on a daily basis. It's like, watching from Sligo. Oh, lovely. I've been there before, actually. I've travelled Ireland. I've been there before. Been to Sligo. I used and stayed in what was the name of the place that I stayed in for a while that ended up staying in Ireland was not Donegal. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Galway, that was it. Stayed in Galway for a while, but we passed around Sligo and stuff too. It was beautiful. So anyway, yes, I'll get back to the meditation. So the meditation is very, very important to me. It's like if you have a phone and the phone is starting to go low in charge and low in battery, it doesn't perform at its optimum performance. And it's like as in business and in life in general. If we start to run ourselves down and we are not tapping into that power source and we're not recharging ourselves, we don't perform at our optimum performance in business. And I think of it as like a car. So you can put fuel into a car and it will get you from A to B. But if you don't service it and you don't look after all the parts and you don't look after it as a whole, again, you can run that car into the ground. It's not going to perform as well as the same car that is being serviced. And I think of my meditation practices as tapping into our personal power and our one source energy that we tap into. And I'm a firm believer in universal laws and one universal mind and consciousness. So when I'm in my meditation and we're just in the moment and all the noise and the clutter drifts away and we just be in that moment, forget about all the worries of the business, all the stresses, we stop about, get out of our heads of just trying to solve a problem and find the solution from that place of, trying to drive it with our heads rather than taking the time out, becoming centered, doing the meditation and being able to access that part of our brain, that part of our mind, that is the creative thinking, that is flow, where the answers and the intuition comes. That's what meditation does for us. And I do this every single day. I have a meditation practice. Now, whether that is a 5 minute guided meditation that I do through something that I see on YouTube, or whether that's me for an hour doing my own kind of meditation and chakra meditations, it doesn't matter. It's for me, it's the daily habit. So I have the daily habit of meditation. It's part of my life as a business owner that I see it as something that's very important, that it helps me recharge to my energy, recharge to source, recharge to that part of my brain that I can access solutions and perform better. So meditation is my first one. And if you don't meditate on a daily basis or a regular basis, and if you find it hard, if your mind is like, especially with entrepreneurs, our mind, we get all this creative ideas that's coming. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, no, I can do this as well. And, it can get very busy in here as an entrepreneur. So if you find it hard to slow down, and get centered and do the meditation, then just use guided meditation. Go onto YouTube, find some guided meditation, something that resonates with you, and just keep practicing. Don't try and force it. Just be in the moment. And when you find that your mind is wandering off, you just bring it back again to the moment. No stress, no resistance. That's it. And it's just practice. And what happens is when I first started doing this, the more I started to practice it, the more I started to realize, wow, I keep seeing after the meditation, not immediately, but I'd go on with my day. And suddenly I would start to notice answers, solutions, clearer thinking, clarity, and knowing in my heart that's the right direction to go. These things would happen, and I started to realize, wow, this is linked to this meditation, this practice that I do that helps me connect to that source and to the answers and to the intuition. It seems to be coming through meditation, and I've made it a part of my daily practice ever since. And I really, really, I've recommended this to thousands and thousands of business owners. And when they put it into their daily practice, it makes a huge difference in their business. And here's what happens is when we do it and things start to become clearer and we feel better as that business owner, and then we get busy and then we can forget to do it. And then what happens is all of a sudden, these problems and the stresses start to show up again, and we go, oh, yeah, I haven't done my meditation for a while. So, what I say is try and do it as a preventative thing rather than waiting for the problems to kick in to then remember, I've dropped off my meditation. So, I try and do it as a practice every single day. I might skip the odd day now and again, but it is, that's one of my magic tools. I tick it off daily, done my meditation, boom. Next, my second tip to help with your mindset is affirmations. So affirmations, and I know that there's different thoughts around affirmations, but for me, they really, really work because what the affirmations do, it's all about attention. Where you put your attention, you may have heard where attention goes, energy flows. And I like to add to that, and that thing grows. So where we put our attention, what we put our attention on, our energy goes to that thing. And because we're giving our energy to that thing we're giving that attention to, we get more of it. It grows. So it's very simple. What we give our attention and our energy or focus to, we get more of it. So as a business owner, we can do that thing, can't we? Where we do that thing where we start to focus on all the things that could go wrong, or we start to focus on the problem. So I use affirmations as a guide to where I want to put my attention. So rather than doing unconscious affirmations where we're saying, oh no, that thing's happened again, or why can I never get this to work, or oh, for goodness sake, I just need to look at technology and it goes wrong, or all of these things that we can say unconsciously that are negative affirmations that we're putting our attention to mindlessly because it's just a habit and it's just a pattern and it's just we're doing that negative thing that we're programmed to do. I use the affirmations to take my attention to the place that I want it to be. Okay, so Ailey's saying that's me right now. So yeah, I want to take the attention to where I want what I want more of. So I'll give you an example. I'm looking to book a venue for an event that I've got coming up and I've not booked it yet. So we're having a little bit of issues trying to book it. So rather than, I could be affirming to myself, oh my goodness me, everywhere that we're trying is booked. That's an affirmation, right? So we're like, everywhere's booked. Everyone in London's booked. That's an affirmation. Just because the first places, a lot of places that we've tried is booked, it doesn't mean that every place in London is booked. But that's an example of how we can easily slip into negative affirmations and start to put our attention to lack of being able to book this venue. But of course, more if that is showing up, because you're starting to give that attention to that. Oh, what if we don't find somewhere in time? What if we don't? What if negative? So the affirmation would be, by the end of today, I'm going to book the perfect venue. It'll be booked by the end of the day, the perfect venue for my event at the right price. In fact, it's even slightly under budget, right? So this, by saying that affirmation, repeating that, by the end of today, I'm going to have the perfect venue booked. It's helping me take my attention to the thing that I want. Now, that is very, very, very important in business, because you get more of what you give your focus and attention to. So that's why, for me, affirmations, I use them a lot, and I start to use them daily. They're daily for me now, and they're unconscious. If I start to hear myself and I'm mindful of what I say, and if I start to go in that direction of something not working, or giving my attention to the things that are going wrong rather than giving my attention to the solution to the thing that's going wrong, I guide myself back with affirmations. So Claire is saying, I'm using my affirmations when driving in the car to work, and she does them religiously. Excellent, Claire, and it makes a huge difference. And you know what, as well, that's a great use of your time, because when I talk to the business owners that I coach, and I tell them about putting these 5 daily practices into their daily lives, one of the biggest objections can be, I don't have the time. So I'm like, well, my affirmations are done in the shower before I even start my day. I'm doing my affirmations there in the shower. Meditation when I get up. Affirmations in the shower. Some people, affirmations driving, in the car. Like, these things can be just slotted into your daily habits, but that's the key, is they have to become a habit. They're small, but they are mighty, and they're powerful when they start to become a daily habit. I mean, not only did I completely turn my business around from the brink of bankruptcy, and I put it down to the inner work. Right? That was the foundation of it all. Yes, I know a lot about business and marketing and that kind of stuff, but the absolute foundation was the inner work, where I was putting my focus and attention to the things that I was saying to myself, doing the meditations and so on. And that brings me to my third one, which is gratitude. And again, you don't need to put time aside in your day for gratitude. What you need to do is remind yourself every day to practice gratitude. So yes, you need to remind yourself, but then what happens is it starts to get wired into your brain that this is who you are. This is your default place to go. This is how you think, is you go to that default thinking of gratitude. So if something negative shows up, you choose to have that perspective of, look on the bright side. But what are the things that I'm grateful for? Yes, all that crap is showing up over there. But what have I still got to be grateful for in life? And so to begin with, you have to remind yourself to practice that gratitude, because human nature, we can just blow up all the negatives. We can blow them up, and it's like, how am I ever going to get over this? But a way of dealing with that, and being able to access the part of our brain that solves problems, that goes into flow state, that thinks creatively, that connects to our intuition, to be able to access that, we need to be calm. We need to be in a great state. And part of that is being in a grateful state. So as a business owner, if we can look at the things that we have to be grateful for, and be as much as we can in that state of gratitude, and consciously each day look at, what are people doing right in your organization, for example? What are the things that you're doing very well in your business? often we skim those and we can just look at the problems and turn them, we're putting our focus into them. Like, as I said before, we're putting attention to them so they're growing even bigger. Whereas if we can just, we can take the power away from that problem, and we can take that power and put it into putting our attention to the gratitude. Like, this is really, really powerful stuff. I mean, all I can say is, for those of you that don't know me, it completely transformed my life and business. I went from being this salon owner, like I say, on the brink of bankruptcy, the brink of closing my doors, you know, single mother to 3 children, in debt, you name it, tick off that story, to turning my business, my salon business, into packed out, having to move into bigger premises, winning some of the biggest awards in my industry, like over about 150 awards. I've written 2 books, become an author, international speaker, and so on. Winning things like British Hair Salon of the Year and all this kind of stuff, right? And being able to grow my team and my people and my culture in the salon. And I've now built the number one, the only CPD accredited digital salon training business coaching company in the world for salon owners. It's all CPD accredited training that we're teaching. In fact, what I'm teaching you now, the mindset magic and miracles that comes from the book that I wrote, this is CPD accredited, this actual book. This stuff is powerful. It might seem tiny little things of practicing that gratitude each day, but the people don't relate it. They often think they have mindful practices that they do in their life, but they don't think about bringing it into their business. Like, I have a mindful salon business. I've transformed the results of that business by helping my team actually put this practices into place as well, and it has unbelievable results. So gratitude, like, we have a gratitude book in the salon and stuff like that as well. It's just having that, you're coming back to the heart, getting out of the head, getting out of the problems, and just coming back to the heart and being a heart-based business owner, and really being mindful and aware of what are all the things that I have to be grateful for today. Okay, this might not be going right for me. This result isn't great for me. But hey, cause and effect. We can ask more questions, dig into it, and we can find the cause of that. But focusing on the gratitude is just a game changer. And I think sometimes as humans and, especially business owners, we can just get caught up in the struggle. We can get caught up in the, you know, like industry limiting beliefs and things like that. We can get taken off track so easily and so quickly. Keep bringing it back to gratitude, and that's going to have a big influence in your business. So number 4 is inner size. So inner size is a term coined by John Assaraf. Anyone ever heard of The Secret? John Assaraf, he was an expert in the film, the book, The Secret. And I work one-to-one with him. I'm one of his private clients. I've worked with him for many years. I present at his Brainathon many times. I presented just last week, actually, at his to hundreds of his clients in his breakthrough challenge that he does. So I've worked with him for many years, and he invites me on as a guest in many of his things, and I know him well now. It's like he's such a lovely person, such a heart-centered coach and business owner. He's very savvy in business, but also, what goes on between here is the key for business success. And he coined the term inner size. And it's about retraining your brain, rewiring the habits, sending different messages, So it's like how we would exercise to get the physical appearance that we want. Is inner sizing, doing the inner exercises to get the stronger results showing up in the outside world, because based on our thoughts of how we think and how we feel. So inner sizing can be, for example, just breathing. So each day I have my daily breath. So John calls it, one of his breathing exercises, he calls it take 6. So in those moments, like setting a timer throughout the day that you have to stop and go, right, I need to stop, take a break. and just reconnect with myself, reconnect with source just for a short length of time and just calm the circuits, especially if you're getting busy and overwhelmed or if you're procrastinating. Whoever procrastinates, whoever gets overwhelmed, right? So these things don't stop, but we can learn to be mindful when they're coming on, that we stop them in their tracks. So setting a reminder to stop and take six, as John calls it. So it's breathing in through the nose. And when you're breathing in through the nose, your tummy is expanding. So you're breathing into your tummy. So breathing in for six, letting the tummy going out, holding it for six, and then slowly breathing out, either through your nose or as if you're breathing out through a straw. So it's slow, steady breathing. Now, if you do this and if you practice this, if you just take a moment, even after this live, to literally just sit there, take six, breathing in through your nose, not thinking of anything else, just think of your breathing. So in through your nose, let your tummy expand for six, hold it for six, and then breathing out as if you're breathing through a straw, as John says, or just sometimes I just breathe out back through my nose. And once you've done that 6 times, you can actually feel like if you become mindful and aware of what's going on inside your body, you actually feel the calming effects of it. And here's the thing, when we're running busy lives, if we just take that moment to do that inner size each day and at different parts of the day, it calms our circuits. Again, when we're calm and our heart is beating nice and coherently, it's sending that message to the brain, everything is fine, everything is good, everything is calm, everything's working in the body as it should, right? So staying calm, doing that breathing, we can then access that part of the brain where we access, like I said before, problem solving, flow states, creativity, intuition, and so on. If we start to get worked up and we start to get overwhelmed and we start to get stressed and we start to do negative talk to ourselves and we've got all these distractions going on and the heart starts to beat incoherently, it's sending a message to the brain. There's some kind of danger here. It's this underlying stress. And of course, that's sending a different message to the brain saying, there's, things are not calm. There's danger here. There's stress here. It starts to release these stress hormones. And when it does that, okay, it's shutting down that part of the brain that we want to access that has all the solutions and the intuition and the creativity. It starts to shut that down and we start getting into our own heads and we're starting to, the stuff going on inside the body is no longer calm and doing as it should. So little do we know what is going on inside us just by not taking these moments to just calm ourselves and reconnect. So inner size, very, very important. And my fifth and final one, I call create. And that is understanding the importance. This is going back again to where you put your attention to, you get more of. So create, for me, creating on throughout the day on a daily basis is I like to write things down of what I want to achieve or what I want to have, like what my ambitions are, what my goals are. I keep a dream book. So I keep a dream book. I wonder if I've got one around. I don't right now at hand, but I keep a dream book where I put in pictures and I write things down of all the things that I want to create. So maybe you've kept a vision board or something like that before, and maybe you've never written down the things that you want to achieve. Maybe you don't spend enough time in your day focusing on the big why, and this is the stuff that I want to achieve and why, and keep reconnecting to that thing, the passion, the desire, and keep reconnecting to that. Because if you're continually throughout your day forgetting about that, and you're just showing up and doing the work and just getting busy and getting stressed and feeling more overwhelmed or procrastinating a little bit more, or will I go this way, will I go that way, and so on, we can easily, as business owners, lose sight of the bigger picture. And the thing that drives us, what's the thing that makes us do this stuff, this entrepreneurship? What is that thing that's driving us? What do we want to achieve? Do we want to win awards? Do we want to, get a fatter bank account? Do we want more clients? Do we want to, do less hours and have a better lifestyle? Do we want to build a business that runs without us? My salon business, I'm not there today. It's running completely without me. I have a business that runs on systems. I don't have to be there and it's profitable. Do we want to do that kind of thing? How do you know what that's a drive for me because I wanted to have more time with my family, more time with my children, more time to do the other stuff that I love, like coaching and teaching and so on. Um, so it's remembering what we're doing and why. And I love to put my dreams and my goals and the things that I want to achieve into my dream book. And I do it with, like I say, I've done it with pictures or writing. So I've done things before, like it's, let's just say, I'm going to use an award as an example. So let me use an award I won last year, which was called Most Wanted Business Thinker Legend. And if you win this award, Most Wanted Business Thinker 3 times, then you become a legend. Now, that was in my dream book before it became a reality. I had played that movie over and over in my head before it became a reality, manifested, or whatever you want to call it. I played that over in my head and it was in my dream book. So I played it over so much, it ended up showing up in my reality. Like in my mind, I owned that Legend Award. I was going to be the first person that ever won it. And that's what happened because it was like I created it. I so believed in it because I focused on it so much. It was in my dream book, played that movie in my head. There was no other option or alternative of how it was going to show up. I consciously created it or manifested it, whatever you want to call it, by the amount of attention that I put to it. Remember, what you put your focus and attention on, you get more of, and so on. So, the creation part, that the fifth tip of being a creator, a conscious creator, is think about the things you want to achieve, not the problems or how you're going to do it or focusing on the distractions along the way. If you find yourself in a position where the business isn't doing as well or you're getting stressed or there's just so much issues that are showing up in, your life right now, I just always remind myself because, stuff still shows up. Even when you're doing all this mindset stuff, challenges still show up. But I always bring it back to, right, this is what's showing up now, but what do I want? Let's flip this. What do I want it to look like? What do I want showing up? And that helps bring me to the desire again. And when I'm in that desire, that moment when you're just thinking about the stuff you want, and what it's going to feel like when you get it, and you give yourself a rest from all the other worry, what if negative stuff. When you just think about what's it going to feel like, you know, having that dream holiday I want, or what's it going to feel like walking up on stage and collecting that award, or what's it going to feel like when I'm financially free, or whatever it may be. In that moment, when you're just in the desire and you're feeling that desire of having it, there's no resistance. So there's no resistance to it. You're creating it, it's happening, it's yours. You're putting that order out to the universe, whatever you want to call it. There's no resistance. And it's just a lovely escape from the stress and the craziness of the day anyway. So I love my dream books. I put my dreams in there, and at night time, I've got a ton in my drawers beside my bed. I'll open them up, I'll have a read, I'll remind myself what it's all about for me, what's my big picture, what are the things that I want to achieve, what are the things that I'm grateful for, and just end the day on that lovely note of this is what I'm grateful for, and this is where I'm headed. And that's my 5 tips, and these tips have completely transformed my life, my business. It's enabled me to work closely, like I say, with people like John Assaraf. It's helped me coach thousands of small business owners and salon owners globally. Write 2 books, by the way, if you want. It's on Amazon. It's a 25 times bestseller, Mindset, Magic, and Miracles, if you love that kind of stuff. And it's about, in fact, what does it say at the front? Universal laws to master your mindset and emotional intelligence for success in life and business. That's what's on it. But if you love that kind of stuff, it's a great book for that. But so I'm just having a little look at the comments here. So Idley's saying, that's how I heard of you. I'm in winning the game of business. He is amazing. Yes, John is amazing. He is. He really is. He's an amazing teacher. and he's heart centered. He's a giver. He does it from the heart. He's very authentic, and that's why I've been with him for so long. Yeah, I've had other mentors along the way, but John is the one that I personally work on a private basis, one to one with. So he is wonderful. And I remember when I first started working with him, one of the things that I loved about him was his authenticity of how we would say, look, stuff still shows up, but when we're stronger inside, like mentally and emotionally, we can just handle it much better. We just see it from a completely different perspective. That law of relativity, depending on, there's so many different ways that we can look at things. It's the meaning that we project onto it. And knowing that, yeah, John Assaraf, like in fact, he was on my podcast before, John Assaraf. He's on my Mindful Salon Jedi podcast as one of my guests. And it was, one of the questions was, does John Assaraf have shit days? And he's like, yes, I have shit days. And, we have a bit of a laugh and chat about that. But yes, of course, we all do. I remember when I first started getting into this whole law of attraction stuff and universal laws, and I thought as if by magic that everything, no challenge would ever show up. How can it show up if I'm just, using the law of attraction, and my life's going to be perfect? And what I've realized over the years is that's not how it works. It's not about that. There's not such a thing as a one-sided life where only the good stuff shows up and we don't want to see any of the other stuff. We live in a perfectly balanced universe. You get both, right? We get both. But when we strengthen the inner work, our emotional intelligence and our mindset, when the other stuff shows up, we realize that we don't need to feel challenged by it. We can choose to look at it from different perspectives. We can choose how we react to it or respond to it, take time to respond rather than just reacting. So it's that growth of the internal work over the years that has really helped me become a better business person. Because here's the thing, I believe that there's only two ways that knock us off track in business. Why we don't reach our bigger goals. Number one of them is being that our self-identity doesn't match our big goal. So all our limiting beliefs and blocks inside, who we think we are and what we think we're capable of, isn't in alignment with this big goal. Somehow deep down, we don't quite feel that's for other people out there. We're not aligned with it. So we have to raise our self-worth and self-identity and reprogram the mind to step into that. Yeah, this is who I am and this is what I deserve. And the second one is not having the emotional intelligence to be an entrepreneur. And what I mean by that is it's a roller coaster, especially when you lead a team, employ a team, and you've got so much going on, and you're a single mom, you've got children at home, and all this kind of stuff. We have to learn to manage what's going on inside us and understand that we are not our emotions. We have emotions. Being able to guide ourselves into better feeling places and not let that resistance happen. So yeah, this inner work has been a huge game changer for me. Liz, hello, nice to see you. You seen me on John's breakthrough challenge as well. Yes, but yeah, absolute roller coaster, and there's no doubt about that. And that's what I loved about John is it's not that the challenges go away. It's when you learn how to see them all from a different perspective and still stay in that centered place of gratitude and having that inner strength and knowledge that I can get through this. I believe in myself. And that doesn't come straight away. All the doubts and fears that are there. Can we make it? Can we do it? And the natural negative thinking that we have based on all our limiting beliefs. But through practice, it comes. It really does come through practice. So that's my 5 magic tips. Meditation, to reset and reconnect to our personal power and source energy. Affirmations, keeping that attention on where you want to guide your day to go. Gratitude, staying in that place of gratitude keeps you grounded. Inner sizing, doing your breathing throughout the day, staying calm, as John says, take 6, calm the circuits, and being a conscious creator. Really thinking about, having that focus and that visualization of how exactly do you want it to, what do you want to show up in your life? Spend a lot of time doing that. Like I do spend time looking for things on the internet. Like let's say it's a luxury holiday and I would go on and I'll put most expensive first. In the filters. They don't put cheapest first. And think of that person, that thing, that what do you want to do, what you want to achieve. Step into that now by doing things like that. Not going, okay, I'm going on holiday. What can I afford? Well, I can't go there. I can't afford that. I'll just go and look and go most expensive first. And I'll look at these places. Oh, wow. And I'll get into the feeling of, that looks amazing. That's amazing. I can't wait until I'm there. That's where, start focusing that attention on where you want to be, not where you are now. And I will leave it on that note. This is my first ever. I don't even know where this is going live. In fact, if anyone's watching this, type in and tell me where you are actually watching this from. I tried to do a live on LinkedIn. This was going to be my first ever LinkedIn live, but I don't even know if it worked. I don't think it worked because something came up and said there was an issue. Someone's on here, so I must be live somewhere. Anyway, guys, happy weekend. That is my Friday tips. And the plan is that I'll be coming on more each Friday to keep going lives. I just have to get the hang of where this is streaming to and how to stream this to the right places. But I'm going to be showing up more regularly and sharing more stuff like that. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Giovanni, hello. How are you doing? So have a lovely weekend, guys, and hopefully see you next Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.